Alrighty, we are back on the Mana Symbol channel, doing a little bit of homework, playing a little bit of a sweet list from Control Mastermind TSPJendrick. So, well known for Esper control in the last format, but always looking for the best way to play blue control cards. So the current format is infested with blue-red Delver, Delverless Delver, blue-red Prowess, black-red Lurrus midrange. Those are some of the bigger players. There's also an Amulet Titan floating around. So what is the best possible setup for a control deck? Well, one of the realizations I've had over the last little while is that Stoneforge Mystic and Ragavan the Nimble Pilferer have pushed the window for mandatory interaction basically down to turn 1. Which for a while I was kind of looking at as a bad thing, but I had a nice attitude adjustment today by talking to some other streamers. So to that end, this deck is respecting that by playing 4 Prismatic Ending, 4 Unholy Heat for the early game. Unholy Heat, of course, can play through the mid to late game as well, smacking planeswalkers and or creatures for up to 6 damage, 2 or 6 damage, depending on if you have Delirium on or not. This deck doesn't play any particularly aggressive way to turn on Delirium, so that's going to be something to look out for. We do have a card that we can hop into our graveyard, which is helpful, which is Brainstone. So Brainstone is a 1 CMC artifact, 1 mana value, sorry. Which has the ability 2 mana, tap, sacrifice, and brainstorm. So you draw 3 and then put 2 cards from your hand back on top. Just like Jace the Mind Sculptor's 0. The important thing about it is that lets us put a Terminus on top. We can Terminus as a 1 mana Miracle Wrath of God. So, or even better than Wrath of God in many cases, because you put the cards on the bottom of the opponent's library where they're not going to be able to rebuy them out of their graveyard. So the only card in the main deck we're splashing red for is Unholy Heat, but we have some cards in the sideboard. And then we've got the Termini, we've got Jace the Mind Sculptor and Teferi here to pull us through the gap at the end there. These are our actual win conditions. Shark Typhoon can function as a win condition. It's also an enchantment spell that usually gets pitched into your graveyard, so that helps with your Delirium. We've got 4 Counterspell, 4 Archmage's Charm, 2 Cryptic Commands, and some opts for a little bit of grease in the main deck. Everything else is in the sideboard to help us get through these games, get through these matches. So let's hop into a league. That sounds awesome, JK Torborg. I'm excited to play your deck next week. I am. We have the wrong deck loaded up. I'm noticing that this time instead of not noticing that and playing the wrong deck. You're rattled, but the deck felt great. That's awesome, man. I'm excited to play that. Did you want to do that on, was it Tuesday? Is Tuesday okay for you? And then you got to let me know if it was 8 o'clock or 11. Let me make the note right now so I don't forget. Gamble, yeah, sure. Let's do the thing. According to someone else, this is more intuitive. So make sure you read the options on this. So I've swapped the colors. So apparently blue is standard for believers, and the purpley pink reddish color is standard for what, doomers, I guess they call them, people who think I'm gonna not make the 3 wins. So predictions going up now, but I've swapped the answers, so don't mess around. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. So on Tuesday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 15 minutes from now. So whatever time it is for you, 15 minutes from now, that on Tuesday. And on Monday or Tuesday, I'm doing that co-stream with Arkin. I'm hoping it'll be Monday morning. It'll be real early for me, though. I think he starts up at like 9 a.m. or something. 11 p.m., 8 p.m., 11 is past my bedtime. All right. You've been up for the later portions of the stream occasionally. Occasionally. Obviously on work nights. All right, so Tuesday, 8 o'clock locked in. All right, got it. Yeah, I got you, Alex. Hopefully sometime next week we'll be able to get the new computer, and from that point on, I can start seeing how it feels to play on a new computer, and maybe start doing some big 12-hour streams, and really push hard for partner. I'm excited to try to do that. Shaja is our opponent. Alrighty, we got a turn 1 Brainstone. If I fetch a basic island, I won't have access to red mana in the early game. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to just go Shock into Brainstone, and then we'll have the option of Prismatic Ending, then fetch tapped Scalding Tarn. I think that's where I'm at. Did not check that they had a Lurrus right away, but Lurrus means I definitely want to play out this Brainstone ASAP, and get that out of my hand in case I draw a Terminus at some point. I don't want that stuck in my hand through the midpoint of this game. Pretty much no matter what I'm up against. If this is Hammer Time, if this is Black Red Lurrus, whatever it's going to be. Opponent takes a mold to 6. And we're good. Off to the races. Hallowed Fountain into play here. Brainstone, pass the turn. Tipping it over. So what? What are we up against? What? What? Yeah. Okay. Saga. All right. Probably Hammer Time. Hammer Time is the most common Lurrus Urza Saga deck I can think of. I'm pretty sure I'm going to Prismatic Ending their Springleaf Drum. I am definitely going to Prismatic Ending their Springleaf Drum. Because cutting their mana down so they can't get Saga activations is big game. Get out of here, you little nerd. Nobody wants to see you here. You have the best cell service? Nice. Opponent looks very ready to Stone Rain themselves. And I, for one, am here for it. Nice. I could have gotten the Triome there. Probably should have. Wasn't even thinking. Alright. Go ahead and opt. Not terribly concerned about what they could possibly have here. Put this on top. Play it. I guess when their Saga goes on the stack, I basically have to fetch, and I'm kind of incentivized to crack my Brainstone, because if they get Pithing Needle, I don't want my Brainstone getting shut off. But at the end of the day, if they're using Saga to go get Pithing Needle for Brainstone at this point, I really don't think I'm supposed to care all that much. So when the Saga goes on the stack, I probably just go crack Scalding Tarn, grab an island, and if they want a Pithing Needle my Brainstone, I think we'll be okay. Hopefully we don't draw a second one immediately, but all right, go ahead. Hammer. Okay. They have a Pure Steel? They do. They do not. Denied! 1 mana floating. They don't necessarily have anything to do with it. Might have had a second hammer, but no, they just burn it off. Feels magic, man. It could Brainstone to try to hit a land here. I think I want to do that. Finding land drops is pretty important. Put at least one of these cryptics back. I just put them both back. Brainstone locked here. Brainstorm locked here. Well, Brainstone locked here. But we have enough removal to start chewing through these Memnites, so if I have to, I will. Okay, they can grab their Lurrus, but that's really not going to be a concern. Deciding to dig, that's something. Sorry, my dad was sending pictures of his dinner while watching hockey. Get out of here. So top card is Cryptic. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. Still a little Landlight. I'm hoping they play something. I could Archmage's Charm one of their Memnites EOT. That actually might be the play. Just stymies their aggression. Yeah. I've had enough of this. Yoink! Where's my soundboard? It's coming up now. Alright, I apologize for the delayed sound effect, but
Yoink!
There it is. Now they'll grab the wrist. Nope. Nice aggro deck. Okay, now they grab their lures. I kind of want to cycle one of these cryptics, which I guess means just bouncing a hammer. That's a bad idea. All right, we'll just not cast anything. It's fine. Good draw. Anyone want to poke at the control player for playing slowly? All right, I think I'm letting this resolve. We can find an answer for it later if we need to. The only danger is if they actually have I know, right? But like but you can see here, right? Like I'm up on time. I'm not tanking on anything I'm doing. This is all very, very straightforward. I know what I'm up to in each turn, and I know how I'm going to respond to it. It's actually, I think it actually is a harder game for them to play at this point because they're just so buried. That's like every resource they have to deploy fairly carefully. Whereas that's just not as much of a concern for me. I definitely should have played Vantress this turn, as I can burn the Vantress pretty willy-nilly. I don't really need to attack with the Shark. I don't think it's realistically moving the needle. But I don't really need to hold it back to block. So, let's not. I could fetch shock another Steam Vents if I need to preserve the shuffle. Because I should have played the Vantress this turn because I... Okay, if they hit my fetch, I'm just gonna be okay with that. I mean, I can bounce it if I need to. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Good call. Good call. And now the Lurrus? Nope, Springleaf. And now the Lurrus? And now the Lurrus? Nope. How many times do you want me to say it, opponent? My poor chat is probably just like mentally dying. I'm gonna bounce a Sigarda's Aid. Just as a small tempo gain. I really want to cycle one of these cryptics, find Jace or Teferi. You're always dying. It is our permanent state of ennui. We are always dying on the inside and in a more abstracted way. Type it to them, toss them a bone. Just waiting on the climate wars so you can go looting. I mean, there's no time like the present for looting, Alex. Stoneforge? No, I don't think so. No. Man, I really should have cryptic that. That's what I should have done. And I definitely shouldn't have tapped the Steam Vents. I mean, they don't have any unknown cards in their hand, but still, like, what am I doing? That definitely should have been the cryptic. I did that the most ass backwards way possible. Okay, but they didn't cast their Lurrus, so. Physically put it in their hand. Here. Let me help. So their hand is Lurrus +1. No, it's just Lurrus. Finally. That's game. Want to cast Terminus? No, not right now. Maybe later. Gosh. Yeah. I probably could have an upkeep stop there so I could scry during my upkeep, but this draw worked out fine. I actually maybe should have kept the extra land in my hand there. Because the Brainstorm, I need sort of more food. But I guess the two cards I'm putting back at this point are Terminus and Flooded Strand. But I have Unholy Heat to kill their creature if they find a hammer, so I'm not worried. Okay, now we've got 2 lands to pitch, so that's fine. Still no cantrip, but that's fine. What's their best possible draw? Pure Steel? Pure Steel's okay. Doesn't really solve much. They go for the kill, I kill their Ink Moth, and then I Terminus the next turn. Go to combat? I mean, I guess. No blockers. Oh, you got me so good. You really got me. You really got me. Girl, you really got me now. You got me going so I don't know how. Scry 2. Oh, in that case. that was something. All right. Wear Tears. Probably the only thing that's coming in here. I think Counterspell or Cryptic Command are definitely the worst cards. I know, Mord. I know. To be fair, when you're up against a Castle Vantress and the opponent's just scrying away with it, it's pretty disheartening. I feel like this is the right way to sideboard. I know Cryptic can theoretically be useful, but you put yourself in situations where you just end up dying trying to cast a Cryptic Command against a deck like this sometimes. I guess they don't. It's not infect. It's not actual factual infect because they can't normally give their creatures Hexproof? I think I want Teferi Time Ravelers on the play, but I don't think I want them on the draw. And then, is it like a Jace? Because Jace is kind of slow. And then, I'm pretty sure I want all Terminus on deck. And then that means all the ops, all the Brainstones. Maybe Archmage's Charm is a little clunky. We just have a nice mix of stuff now. The most significant problem with Archmage's Charm is if they go in for a kill with Inkmoth Nexus, you can't stop it with that card. So, Wear Terror is great. I think this is fine. It's probably not perfect, but it's fine. This plays by all the rules that I want to. We just need to make sure to have the right mixture of cheap interaction early. But like you can definitely see the cascading effect of the turn 1 Prismatic Ending that I threw out last game, or turn 2, I guess it was. But exiling their Springleaf Drum really messed them up last game. We'll see if we can pull it off again this game. They have an Esper Sentinel? Yeah, they do. Okay. So I would like to run back the play, but I don't think it's worth it when they have the Esper Sentinel. It's very unlikely I die on turn 2. Possible, but unlikely. Sigarda's 8 into Hammer would be a little inconvenient, but we can exile the Sentinel. Okay. Okay. So we just exile the aid here. This game I'll get the Triome properly, because I'm not bad. If they have a backup aid, we get got a little bit, but then we'll be fine anyway. See ya. See ya. Game day bucket goes boom. Pure Steel Paladin? Shit. If they don't have more mana, though, then they can't also get the hammer into play, so we get to exile the Paladin, and they don't get any value. They have a draw step stop, and they keep goofing themselves over with it. Did they find a land, though? They didn't. Okay, so we just run back the last turn again. Yeah. I suppose I could steal the creature that they put the hammer on, but I don't feel like letting them draw a card is like where I want to be. I can put in Flooded Strand if I needed to kill a Saga this turn, but I don't think that's realistic. So let's just not. I gotta let him draw a card now, though. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I would take the hit, but all right. So we gave them a free card draw there because I punted. I was still mentally, I was removing the Esper Sentinel, which only cost me 1 mana. But, all right. So we'll never know if I just gave them the Sigarda's Aid or the land or the Pure Steel Paladin that they need. But if I did, then... Okay. So they have more hammers. They got a lot of hammers. Shadow Spear. Okay. So you're saying you want some castable equipment. Pithing Needle. That is a very, that's a very poor draw. They named a card that's not in my deck right now. You love to see it. Oh. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You know what's fun? Playing quality high variance cards in your deck. It's fun when control decks get to have good, powerful, high variance cards. And then I think I just tear their Saga. Just tear them a new one. Like, I could wait to get the twofer, but I think, well, if they don't have another land, they never get the construct. And then if they get the construct, I just wait until the end of turn. All right. We'll keep it for the 2-for-1. Because they didn't have a land last turn. They're a pretty low land count deck. And then if they spend this whole turn just like making a construct and then getting it wear torn, then I'm okay with that. They do have a hammer in their hands, so I'm going to run a little bit of a risk with this play. I think that's okay. Yeah, I don't think I can leave this thing around. I mean, so they have a hammer in their hand. If they have like a Sigarda's Aid and a land, I get punished. If they have my opponent disconnected. Okay. Well, I'm on clock right now, so let's... Is it crazy to want to kill the drum in the land? Yeah, it is. Yeah, we just run the play as it is. The downside of this is that they just, quote, make me have it here. I don't, and I will die. So if they have an aid and a hammer, or... I don't think Pure Steel works because they don't have enough mana. It's still 1-for-1, not a 2-for-1. You are correct, Kozimoto. You are correct. You are correct. I think the thing I'm happier about is the tempo gain. And it's not really a gain as so much as an equality. Against Urza Saga is it feels good. Like, it translates into a lot of winning situations to get a hit like this when they're already kind of on the back foot. But you are correct. The number of cards that have flipped back and forth are 1-for-1. Did it hail where I am? I didn't notice any hail, but there was a lot of rain and a lot of thunder and lightning. I mean, the lightning was not like dramatic. It was very chill. I'm right by the lake, so I feel like hail happens less right next to the lake. But that, I don't know if that makes any sense. It was hailing in Toronto? Holy crap. It's unusual. It's not unusual to have hail in Toronto. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's not unusual to have hail in Toronto. Are they coming back? Come back, opponent. I wasn't done with you. I love the idea of rejoining a game and seeing a wear tear on the stack just blowing up your board. It's like, this is not where I want it to be. This is not the life I wanted to come back to. So let's map this out. So if they have a Sigarda's Aid and a hammer, they need a land too. So there are 3 cards. I know they have a hammer. So if their other 2 cards are Sigarda's Aid and the land and Sigarda's Aid, they can play the aid, they can play the hammer, but they can't animate the Inkmoth Nexus in the same turn. So I don't think I can possibly die. If they had another card, they could have a 0-drop creature like Ornithopter or Memnite, which would produce a mana because they already have the Springleaf Drum, but they don't have enough cards. So I don't think I can possibly die here. If they have white source, play Pure Steel, play Colossus Hammer to draw a card, that's like fine. So we're definitely not dead. Definitely not dead. Who wants to look at some AFR spoilers? I haven't looked at much. I think Drizzt was spoiled at some point. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, Book of Exalted Deeds. White, legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 3/3 white angel creature token with flying. All right. White, exile Book of Exalted Deeds. Put an enlightened counter on target angel. It gains. You can't lose the game. Your opponents can't win the game. Activate only as a sorcery. All right, that's cute. Ymrith. Ymrith. I like Ymrith. Ymrith, Desert Doom. Legendary creature dragon, 5 mana, 5/5 flying. Has ward 4 as long as it's untapped. Okay. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then if you have fewer than 3 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference between the number of cards in your hand and 3. So you draw a card when it hits someone, and then if you have 1 card, and if you had 0 cards in your hand, you now have 3. If you had 1 card in hand, you now have 3. That is interesting. Lolth, the Spider Queen, which is a planeswalker. Interesting. Whenever a creature you control, also 3 black for 4 loyalty planeswalker Lolth. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a loyalty counter on it. 0, draw a card, lose 1 life. Okay, so it's Ob Nixilis power level so far. -3, create 2/2/1 black spider creature tokens with menace and reach. That's a pretty aggressive -3. I mean, like for 5 CMC planeswalker, I guess I'd hope so, but and then you rebate 2 of the loyalty if you're using them as blockers. That's pretty good. And then -8, you get an emblem with whenever an opponent's dealt damage by 1 or more creatures you control. If that player lost less than 8 life this turn, they lose life equal to the difference. Oh my god. What is with these texts? So, hold on. So if you hit someone for 8, this emblem does nothing. If you hit them for 1, it means they take 8. But okay. Okay. Zariel, Archduke of Avernus. 2 red. Legendary Planeswalker Zariel. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. This +1 loyalty ability. 0, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So that's like the Tybalt devils. And -6, you get an emblem with, at the end of the first combat phase in your turn, untap target creature you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Okay. It's pretty bad, I guess. Although the constantly having a planeswalker that just gives all your creatures haste, like in perpetuity, every single creature you play from then on is like fine. So, all right. We gotta win. Old Gnawbone. Legendary creature dragon, 7/7 for 7. Green. 5 green flyer. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. I love that card. The ancient green dragon Clogliamatur Tar. Clogliamatar? Clogliamatar is often seen with a mangled corpse dangling from her mouth. Okay. Icing Death, Frost Tyrant. That okay, whatever. 2 white for a legendary creature dragon, flying vigilance. When Icing Death, Frost Tyrant dies, create Icing Death, Frost Tongue, a legendary white equipment artifact creature artifact token with equipped creature gets +2/+0 whenever a creature attacks. Tap target creature defending player controls and equip 2. Neat. I literally was thinking of that is like, is Icing Death when you have to like throw out like a really crappy cake? All right, I'm definitely keeping this hand in the dark. It's not spectacular. Like double Brainstone is not good, but 3 lands, we're good to go. Opponent keeps their 7. We keep our 7. Let's go. Uh-oh. What? Why? Why would you do that? In what world was that correct? So I guess I have double fetch here. So let's fetch shock, put in Hallowed Fountain. In what world was this? I mean, I'm assuming scared of Rhino. Yeah, but on turn 0, like before you know what your opponent's on, you blow a chalice on 0. Do they have a second chalice? Is that what this means? Now we get a chalice on 1? Yeah. That still doesn't make any sense to me. This is still an insane play in my opinion. I do not agree with it. I mean, I don't have to, obviously, but like this is not, that's not correct. That can't be correct. There's a new artifact land? Neat. Okay. Oh, they just don't have a plan, huh? They kept a 7 that like hoses some decks brutally hard and then just doesn't have a plan against the rest of the format. I guess that is a thing you could do. I don't think this person knows how to play E-Tron particularly well, which is fine. You know, we're not perfect. Tap, add a colorless. XX tap sacrifice. Make X treasures. And it's an artifact land? Neat. Opponent does nothing. Wow. Just getting a very soft league so far. I mean, obviously Hammer Time's a good deck, but the player seemed perhaps a little bit questionable. I also think that right now people are probably keeping hands like this more often because they're just absolutely getting run into the ground, hitting nonstop like Black Red Luris and Hammer Time and etc. And nobody's expecting their opponent to cast like Counterspell and Cryptic Command. Like, I'm the psycho playing a control deck in Modern right now. So I think I'm supposed to Brainstone here for the mana efficiency, even though I'm going to end up drawing one of the... No, I'm not. At this point, I am a little bit light on resources. Drawing one unknown card is fine, but I don't want to blow the power of Brainstone here. I know I could just hardcast this Shark Typhoon. I don't feel like it's worth it at the moment. The most important thing is to get these Brainstones out of my hand or to find a Prismatic Ending. Let this be a smasher. Chalice X2. All right. Let's respond to this. So this Prismatic Ending can beat one of these, but I do want to counter that Chalice. And I'm going to remove the one-on-one because I don't have spells on 0. I actually don't, I'm not required to shuffle here, right? Because I'm about to just play Counterspell. And I don't think I really want to. So let's just put back, I don't know, I guess the Brainstones is fine. Now, I do have to make sure to cast this ending correctly here. While technically I could play it for 1 to remove that chalice, the chalice would then trigger, and I don't want that, so I'd rather not do that. Top card is the other Brainstone. I don't currently have an answer for like a Reality Smasher. I know the top card is Brainstone. I think if they play a Smasher, I'll be okay though, because we could just play Shark Typhoon and then next turn just play Shark Typhoon. So let's see what's up. I would really like to counter that, but I don't think that I can realistically. Top card is a Brainstone. The only 2 mana counters in my deck are 2 more Counterspell. Alright, well, alright. Maybe I was supposed to leave the Chalice on 1, because they actually... No, there's no chance in the world I'm supposed to leave a Chalice on 1. No. We have 12 actual spells in the deck that cost 1 CMC, so... They just don't have anything, that's crazy. Kind of want to use my mana, shuffle away the Brainstone, and then Brainstorm, and then have Flooded Strand. Or just use the Brainstone, draw the other Brainstone, put 2 cards back, shuffle next turn. I guess I can shuffle now if I want to. Put back the lands.
You can run, but you can't glide.
What's up, Lizzie? We are 1-0 playing some Miracles in Modern. In Modern, playing a little bit of Miracles. They have 11 mana. Goodness gracious. But we have Archmage's Charm, so should be able to muddle through here. They have 13 mana. Steal the Chalice. Thanks, Liz. The raid was not required, but it's always appreciated. Holy shit. Are they playing Ulamog? Oh, it is Emrakul. Hello, Kaya. Motion sickness, yeah. So... Obviously, I'm going to counter this because I don't want to deal with 13-13. And then I can Brainstorm to shut down the number of ways they can mess with me. So let's go fetch, cycle, Brainstorm, put the Shark Typhoon second from the top, and hopefully I can set things up in such a way that they can't mess with me too much. With the downside being, I shouldn't have done that. With the downside being that my resources are theoretically going to be a little light, but that's okay. Or maybe I just make a 2/2 and just hope that it's not going to be so bad. No, I like my play. Maybe it's a bit too much fancy play syndrome. I don't know. Let's find out. So we do that. That's a fine card to have here. So we go Brainstorm. We just try to keep cards in our hand that are like low, or put cards on top that are, this doesn't work. Yeah, this doesn't work. I need an upkeep stop because right after this I'm going to need Castle Vantress. So you put Shark Typhoon and Opt on top. I'm going to draw the Opt, and then, all right. And they can fetch and miss. All right. Take my life, mama. Take my life. What's happening? I'm not in control. I'm not doing this. Oh. Wait, they just don't cast it. They can't do anything devastating. Well, I guess they could play Jace and Fate Seal ourselves or like down ticket. But like, that's not a big deal. I think playing Jace here is probably a mistake, right? They shouldn't have done this. I think there's like a 0%. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they can't. I mean, they can't do anything with these cards. They could blow the arc. Oh, they can play an island and Archmage's Charm themselves. Let's see if they see it. I wonder if they will. But I still think playing the Jace maybe is wrong. No, they didn't keep it. That's just incorrect. I mean, they're gonna shuffle here, I guess, and then Stone Rain me by not finding a land. But they could have Archmage's Charm themselves. That's a big miss. But that's okay. I get it. That's a very backwards way of thinking about that card. Oh, of course. Of course. It's not target planeswalker you control. Or you don't control, I guess. An opponent controls? Yeah, that was sick. Well done, opponent. I missed that. Yikes. I think I just bottomed both of those. Jeez. All right. Well, we're in huge trouble. I thought I was so clever. Yup. Oh, of course I should have kept one of the Unholy Heats. Of course I should. How could they not have Reality Smasher after I did that? Main deck Emrakul. Opponent's on the Kaya build. Yeah, sucks to be me. Oof. All right. One is not none? Question mark. So they're gonna have Karn or Ballista now. Okay. Just dead. Gosh, that was so savage. I was thinking of keeping one of the Unholy Heats, and I'm like, nah, that can't possibly be correct. And I don't think that it was, but woof. That was brutal. Okay. I guess I could bring in Wear Tear. It's not particularly great. I guess if they're on Kaya's build, that means they have sagas. So we could trim like a Counterspell, an Unholy Heat. Yeah, I don't want to trim the Heat. I kind of want to trim the Heat. I think I screwed up that game, though, by not throwing down one of my Shark Typhoons early. Just being a little bit too reactive, or trying to be. Trim a Counterspell, a Terminus, maybe a Heat. Just E-Tron, the difficulty is always like, you never know which half of their deck they're going to pick up. We'll only bring in 2 Wear Tears. Wear Tear is fine. It's not spectacular. I've seen my Jeskai opponents, or red-white opponents, have like a bunch of Wear Tears in their hand and just be in a crappy spot sometimes. So, this hand's fine. Let's keep in mind they won that game with Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2, and they never countered a single spell with any of them. Like, E-Tron versus Control is not as bad as you might think. Although, they did play Emrakul, the Promised End, which not all E-Tron decks are playing. So I supposed to play the Scalding Tarn there? I was. So I could get the Raugrin Triome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So boarding out any of my Terminus, suddenly feeling pretty bad. Not yet. Jace. A little too early for you. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So just to confirm, I was an idiot and boarded out of Terminus. Yep. Now they've got Thought-Knot here. Yep. Do I think they're gonna take my Jace? No, I think they take the Archmage's Charm here. So let's get our 2-for-1 now. And then if I draw like an Unholy Heat or something like that, they'll probably take the removal spell. Cryptic is fine. Counterspell is useless. I'm assuming they take the Jace, yeah. So 47 cards remain. I think the 2 cards. Jeez, exactly what I said could be problematic. And as I mentioned, they've now drawn the other half of their deck. So gonna get beat up by these nerds. Do I want to bounce their TKS? Kind of. So I could just tap their team and draw. Bouncing Thought-Knot gives me 2 draws. Brainstone means I can save something that I particularly need. Plus, I already want to tuck these 2. The 3. Okay, good draw. Not a great draw, but a good draw. Land plus Brainstone is 2 more card types. And then if I can get a sorcery in there, I'll be good. Okay. Really want to find the Terminus, though. So when they play the TKS, I gotta go like Brainstone. No, that doesn't work. None of this kind of works because I want to put the Unholy Heat on top, which means I'm not fetching. Just leaving Wear Tear and Unholy and Counterspell in my hand. All right. We can't beat 2 Matter Shapers. We deserve to lose. It's not the 2 Matter Shapers that are beating me, Jake, right? It's the 2 Matter Shapers plus the TKS I just put away, plus the other 3 cards that are potentially in their hand. As you well know. But you're right. I mean, okay. Deal. Well, now I have a reason to keep the Wear Tear. Okay, so we go ETB. Now we Brainstone. Saga gonna get banned? I don't think so. Oh! Get out of here. All right. So, and I don't need to go fetch Shock Terror because I have a second one. So they're going to take Ending or Unholy Heat. We're going to blow up their land. Okay, no smashers, please. No smashers, please. Second Saga. Delicious. Now play an artifact. Do it. Okay, if it's Karn, that's technically an artifact, and I believe I should be allowed to destroy it with Wear Terror. But somebody, the man, I guess, decided that that's not how that works. Okay, so now we get to put in a 3/3 shark, kill their Karn, and kill whatever artifact they just got. Which is pretty hot. Where is it?
That's so ratchet.
I'm just saying I would appreciate if there was an artifact planeswalker, since he's clearly an artifact planeswalker. I'm just saying I could probably convince a flavor judge that I was right. Hell, I could sell anything to anybody. I'm an abrasive nerd. We could do anything we want. Except get any dates. That's not my fault, though. None of the women are good enough for me. Or men. Alright. This bit is getting a little bit too real to some of the humans that I've encountered, so I'm going to stop it now. I'm the eye hole man. Don't you put down my eye holes. Put them down. Get rid of them. Is there an MTG analog for Top Chef? I don't know. Great use for flavor judges. That's good. What are the last cards in their hand? What do you guys think? Could be a lot of stuff. A lot of big stuff going on. Big stuff. All right. I mean, I think Jace Brainstorm is the only thing that makes sense. Shark prevents a Smasher from killing Jace right now. Oh, this is yikes. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and shock, but I don't feel good about it. They're Caverns on Eldrazi, so if they play a big Walking Ballista, we could try to draw into a counter for it, although they only have an X2 Ballista, so it's actually not particularly dangerous. Is it a TCAS? Jeez. Man, I guess it's resolving. Yeah, I don't really mind with this hand. Thutsies. Alright. Take what you will, but eat all you take. They have a second TCAS? Nope. Thought not seer. Have you seen the Thought Not playmat, Roy? It's the there's one playmat designer on inkedgaming.com that I really like. I just like the aesthetic that they use, and they do them for all sorts of different archetypes. They'll do like a playmat for like KCI, and it'll have some like KCI pun with a sort of tasteful graphic. I'll look them up after this game. But the e-tron one has like Thought Not Seer in the center, and on the top it says, "Did you need that card?" And underneath it says, "I thought not," which I think is very clever. Yeah, I mean, I think you should be able to find it from the description I gave. So I have a Brainstone here, so let's Fate Seal since they're not doing anything right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the number of card types in their graveyard are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and they have 8, so that's 12. I think I'm bottoming the Temple because the last card in their hand is Emrakul. Oh, they have 47 cards in their deck. If the last card in their hand is Emrakul, that's an incredible stroke of luck. So maybe we just ignore it. What's the over-under on the last card in their hand being Emrakul exactly? Probably should have opted first. All right. They have 8 mana, 4 card types in their graveyard, unless I miscounted. So 1 more mana would get them Emrakul, which is why I bottomed the Eldrazi Temple. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They didn't have it. That's good. That's good. Yikes. Yeah, Brainstone is a 3 mana Brainstorm, but there's less sort of opportunity cost on it, so like that's not entirely accurate. Whew. Top, play Brainstone. Pass the turn, I guess. I was supposed to play a fetch land so I could clear the top if I needed to. Although I guess Vantress does that for me, so. But at the moment, I can't actually Terminus. So I'm sure I misplayed that. They just scoop. All right. Nice. All right. I'll be right back. The wear tears were pretty good though. Shutting down the sagas was important, but let's take out another counterspell. I kept the heats though, good. All right. Hi-ya! Let's go. Haven't seen hide nor hair of Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. We've had good opening hands so far, though. Actually, at least one 2-lander I stuck and got vaguely rewarded for. Which... jinxed myself nicely there. I definitely ship that. Definitely keep this. So, am I supposed to keep the Terminus because it's like guaranteed to go off here? I think so. We just go like ship the Unholy Heat and then go Shock Fountain Brainstone, and in theory I can set up for a quick Terminus if I need to. This is I mean, this is the route I'm taking. I don't know if this is correct, but this is definitely where I'm at. This is my life now. This is where we live. Oh no. Matter is oh, that's slightly more scary. Slightly less scary. No cavern yet. Dear opponent, please play Thought-Knot Seer without having set up a cavern first. Natural cavern? Boo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We planned for this. It's okay. We planned for this. We planned for this. So what is the best card to keep other than the Terminus? It's definitely not Brainstone. It's definitely not Counterspell. So I think I'm losing the Prismatic Ending and I'm keeping the Archmage's Charm. Or I can lose the Charm and Prismatic Ending gets rid of the Chalice so I can unlock the Brainstone. Because I get to draw, which means I could get rid of the Chalice this turn or their map. Maybe getting rid of their map is better. Just leave. So we go ending under Terminus. They take my Archmage's Charm. Yeah. And then we get to get rid of their map and we leave the Chalice in play. Or we get rid of the Chalice. I don't know. I feel like leaving the map on the table is like really scary. Because they already have one of their lands. And Chalice blocks out their next map. But Chalice is also blocking a reasonable number of cards out of my deck, so I don't know. Well, this is definitely the thing that's happening here. Sick lands we'd like to grab? No. I mean, Vantress is fine, but could always leave up Counterspell for this turn. If they have an Eldrazi, they just punch through it. If it's another Thought-Knot Seer, I lose my Prismatic Ending. That doesn't seem correct. This is actually a very difficult call. I think I'm getting rid of the Chalice, but I don't feel strongly about it. No, but I never had the no, I mean I know Roy, but it's like if they have a Karn, I don't really want them playing that on this board. Like they do play non-Eldrazi cards that are threatening, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping this jeez. Oh no. No, stop. It's Ballista? Okay, that's not so bad. Okay. I mean, Ballista's scary because they're about to set up their Tron. They'll be able to pump it once this turn, twice next turn. So we got to find Archmage's Charm or Prismatic or Unholy Heat. But we have lots of answers for a Ballista, so this is fine. We're just going to EOT, Brainstorm, Shuffle, see where we end up. Lots and lots and lots of outs for Walking Ballista. We're not on 4 card types in the graveyard yet, so I need to watch out for that. So if I do find Unholy Heat, I need to get Delirium on before I can kill the Ballista. Teferi doesn't help. I mean, it'll get rid of the Ballista, but... Okay? Sure. I mean, I have to fetch Shock for this, which is not my favorite. I'm actually short red mana because I didn't keep... Well, thank you so much, Basic Land Shark. I'm glad I can measure up to the taste of such a... Keep going. Do they think Terminus is on the stack? They do. Keep going. Uno mas. Free Terminus, huh? All right. Didn't mean to do that, but I'm okay with it. You may cast Terminus for its miracle cost. No. No, I'm good. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I don't even know if they know they made a mistake. I really don't. Terminus is broken. The mere threat of the Terminus caused my opponent to crack off their Ballista. I didn't cast it. I didn't need to. Obviously they didn't realize what I did realize, which is I hit a Terminus with my only mana being a fetch land, which meant that I needed to it's the second Ballista. Perfect. They're idiots. I mean, I get why it happened, and Moto. I mean, that's human versus Moto. It's a song as old as time. But I mean, that sucks for them. I think in paper that would never ever happen. Like, it just wouldn't. So it's not. I don't feel bad about that. No, I get you. PM username ideas. PM. What do you prefer to be called? PM username ideas. I'll call you the full thing every time if you want, but I assume that's going to be tedious for you as it may be for other people to hear. You can, Alex. It's just we're just saying that was, you know, your commentary on the situation was harsh. You are a, you know, strong... You are not afraid to use strong language. And that's fine. Not a problem, you know? I don't think you're a bad person. You're just very, like... Oh, okay. I see. No, I mean, I didn't want to say that. See, that's the exact thing. Normally, people don't say things like that. Normally, you're just not, like, most people wouldn't just be like, no, you're an idiot. Why'd I do that wrong? Because you're an idiot. Duh. Is this all his dust only my Jace? All right. I will take it. Chalice on one. All right, we got Wear Tear. If I need to unlock my Unholy Heat. I'm pretty sure the cards I put on top I don't want. I think Alex is offended because my opponent's name is Jewish Crab and he's making crabs look bad. Where's Blitz, by the way? Blitz and Alex can both call this person out for making them look bad. It's Jewish Crab, Alex. Jewish Crab. So without an enchantment in play, I can't fuse my Wear Tear. I think I want to get rid of this Chalice on one while I can. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Before I do that, let's fetch and scry. No. He's a crab fan. He's a mill player and he loves crabs. You think a kidney gets a lifetime supply of codeine? You're not educated about the price of kidneys. Or codeine. I don't know which one. It's going pretty good, my friend. It's going pretty good. Opt and Terminus in exactly the correct order. Well, I like the Opt. Terminus can hit the bricks. Bonk. Smash. For reference, there are a lot less 2 CMC spells in this deck than there are ones. Like a lot. Like it's not close. And I boarded down to 2 copies of Counterspell, so that's great. We're in a reasonable spot in terms of that axis. Big problem is if they find Little Mama Emrakul. So, is there a good nickname for Emrakul the Promised End? Because I love calling Aeon's Torn Big Mama Emrakul because she's basically the biggest creature of all time. She's not technically the biggest creature of all time, but like kind of the most powerful one. Because the Annihilator 6 and all the protection is just the nuts. I think I want both of these. Obviously, I can't play Wear Tear without the second target. Not the biggest, but still thick Emrakul. No, see, Numrakul. No, that's terrible. I'm not calling nothing Numrakul. Emra Mommy, Numrakul. What about New Emma? Like NU with the umlaut. I haven't managed to make one of those stick yet, but I'm biding my time. The thickness. Step Emmy. I like Step Emmy. Okay, now they have a cavern on Construct, so if they ever find their Sunring Titan, they'll be in good company. Alright, we're playing that Shark Typhoon. At least I think we are. I'm probably still cycling it. Playing that card. Get up, come on, get down with the thickness. Get up, come on, get down with the thickness. Get up, come on, get down with the thickness. Open up your back. You gotta spell step better, Michael. STEPPE, because she's a core. It is fantastic. It is one of the most clever MTG things I've ever come up with. So I think I cycle the Typhoon for 2 and then Heat. Good draw. Get out. I need your boots, your jacket, and your motorcycle. Can't let you take the man's ride. This is Dismember? What are they hurting themselves for? What the hell? Opponent, what's that doing in your deck? I mean, like, I don't mind in the abstract, but like, what? Yeah, clock is going to be a little bit of a concern, Mike, but we'll see. Okay, perfect draw. Perfect. Bloody great. So I'm just going to Fate Seal this turn. Whatever card was in their hand was not dangerous here. So, and I want to get Jace going to ultimate. I think that's how I'm going to win the game. They already had basically infinite mana, so they can keep that. That's fine. Please double Reality Smasher. Nope. Because I am ready for that. What do you think they have in their hand that they actually paused there? Karn on the bottom? No, you can cast that. I'll have another answer by then. I'll have another answer because Cryptic counters Karn. Draw a card and we'll find what we need. Uh, 3 minutes and 12 seconds at the moment, Georgie boy. I mean, it's not plenty with how I actually have to win this game right now. But it should be enough. So we're going to draw Counterspell. Prismatic Ending their Chalice. 1, 2, 3. 2 colors, but 3 CMC beats the Chalice. Plus, we got Counterspell. We got Unholy Heat. Fate Seal. Leave the Waste on top. That's the turn. It's Fairy minus, Brainstorm, triggers. Put 2 cards back. Hey, Larynx. If I had the time, I would play and crack the Brainstone, but I don't think it's worth it. I just go Fate Seal, Fate Seal. I have Counterspell in my hand, so there's just no out for them here. It was worth doing the things I did, but with how my clock got a little narrow. Larold? Alright. My father calls me Zach. You can call me Hey Uda in the bushes. Oh, you can have a land. I'm not even going to use my Teferi Hero of Dominaria. It's just not worth it clockwise. We just tick up Jace till they deck. Would you like to concede, opponent, or are you going to play clock games with me? Okay, fair enough. You'd think, right? Like, if they were actually trying to win this game, like, against what is happening here, you would think the way to do it is play nothing, but here we are. Like, I'm not activating my Teferi, right? That should be a pretty clear sign of how this needs to be played. Like, why are you doing this? You know I left that on top for you. You know I did. You should know I did. They've never had to win through a J-Salt? That's fair. It's not a particularly common occurrence, so we just go exile their library. You have one card left? So you think you have a turn, huh? No. No, they don't have a turn. I'm loading up my charm. How do you draw 2 cards? 2-0, baby. Rockin' and a rollin', rockin' and a reelin', ba-ba-an, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ran. Went to the dance, looking for a man, saw Baba Ran, so I thought I'd take a chance. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba Ran. It's weird, the stuff that pops up in my brain. Enlightened Muppet knows that the title is Barbara Ann, right? But they never say it. Barbara Ann, take my hand. And away we go. Round number 3. Are we playing nonsense or bullshit today? At the moment, neither. We're playing like an actual, seriously well-constructed modern deck. From a very sober, intelligent player. So, hand's not great. We are on 24 lands. I have guaranteed turn 2 counterspell, plus we get to fetch the Triome. So, like... Well, I mean, we played the Cascade Glimpse of Tomorrow deck, which I think we can probably define as both nonsense and bullshit. Shark Typhoon in Modern, Monka S. Explain yourself. I don't really think that there's anything wrong with Shark Typhoon. Although Jendrick specifically spoke, I was watching his stream and he was like, Shark Typhoon is one of the worst cards in this deck and I hate playing it. But it's an enchantment to help your Delirium because you're playing 0 creatures. That's something you need a little help with. This could actually be a mirror match. And it's unfortunate that I feel like I have to cycle this for 0 value, but I'm going to do it. Like, I have to hit my land drops if this is... if this is a mirror match. Please? One time? Oh, that's... not what we wanted to see. Now, we don't know that this is a mirror match, and they could be playing something with Teferi. So... it's a miracle! Whoa, doctor! Off the top! Would you like me to serenade you, Larynx? Oh, no! Field of Ruin. Uptown girl. Nah, that's fine. I won't. Really? Is this? Please field me. Please? Thanks, opponent. Alright. Discards Terminus, discards Unholy Heat. So that sucked, but they didn't play anything in the gap they had there, so that's pretty good. Obviously, yeah, that whole exchange sucked for us, but at the end of the day, nothing actually went wrong. With Mystic Sanctuary, right? Enlightened Muppet? Oh. Castle is really... that's yikes. I wonder if they're on, like, Spike's control build. I mean, I think I'm just letting them have a 1-1 here. Hopefully, eventually we flip a Terminus. Ooh-woo mirrors. Ooh-woo. Cryptic their land so we can pretend we never missed one. It wasn't really an option. Well, our deck doesn't have any Field of Ruins, right? Like, it's actually like a perfect counter to everything that we're doing. We're Field. We're not playing Field because, generally speaking, Field is not a card you need to be playing in Modern right now. But if you did run into some other psycho who was actually playing Control deck, you would definitely want to be playing Field. Most of the decks in Modern don't give a damn about your Field or your Castle Ardenvale. Can we swap up planes? If we cheat hard enough, we can do anything, Larynx. I want one of these. I think they're not playing Miracles. Are they going to field me? Just to mess with my... Alright. That's fair. Can we enter the dungeon? Not yet. Could enter the gungeon. Anyone? Have they spoiled any cards they need to ban from the new set? Not yet. But it's a standard set. Give them time. Missed on lands and then drew nothing but lands. Yeah, the deck was like, wait, you needed lands? Oh, hold on, let me get you. It's like, well, not this many. This is not helpful. This is not helpful at all. So I kind of want to get in a fight with them over one of their tokens. and like just burn through some of my resources here. Can we concede yet? No. We have Terminus in our deck. We have 3 more Terminus. If we flip them at any point, it sets them back like a million turns. They're gonna path here. I would prefer to cycle my Cryptic Commands. You have to use an actual card if you want to beat me here, opponent. Unless they have a second path. They're playing Path to Exile, by the way. What are you thinking, sir? I mean, that's control mirrors, right, Larynx? Like, you will get stacks like that. Path is Puggers. Path is awful right now, generally speaking. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but their deck is very much perfectly set up to beat the control mirror, and that's okay, because we're not, because we're built to fight the Blackguard Lura stacks and the food decks and all the other nonsense. I mean, if we really want to maximize it, Roy, but I mean, I'd rather just scoop. If that's the plan, if that's the angle that we're going to gun for, I'd rather just scoop at that point. I just don't care enough. You know that. But it's different when you're streaming, right? If I was on my own and I really wanted to learn how to like absolutely be a 100% maximize EV grinder. Do you know what that stock list is? No, there's no stock list for control right now. That is just not something that exists. It's gonna go Brainstone, then fetch, then Vantress. Yikers. Oh my god, there's a Rue cult emote. They know. They know. Yikers again. Bottom. Bottom. And top deck Terminus. I obviously shouldn't have ditched the Terminus, but I didn't know they were going to be on freaking Castle Vantress. We can do this afterwards. So I'm at 4. They have 5 attackers. Oof. I mean, draw it. But there's just no way I'll ever resolve it, right? They haven't played any cards at all at any point this game. I also can only play 1 Unholy Heat. So I just can't. Yeah, we're just dead here. I'm not even going to entertain the notion that we could get through it. They played Path. They did. They did. That's fine. I didn't disagree with you. I literally the second they played it, I was like, "Oh crap!" Like that's not a card where you're you're just gloating. Okay, got it. Okay. So Unholy Heat's probably still okay, but Prismatic Ending is definitely, well, not definitely the cut, but I feel like it's the cut. Then you get a Flusterstorm. Or Mystical Dispute is probably better. I think that's all I need to do. I just need to draw a lot better than that game. We'll be fine. Let me monologue. You know, Larynx, we're not so different, you and I. See? I did say that. Maybe I'm supposed to cut like one Terminus and one Unholy Heat for like the Flusterstorms. Maybe. I don't know. I did it by intention because people brought it up last time, and I was like, "What is the most monstrous way to do this?" And I think I'm pretty happy with the answer I came up with. How many castles do we think they're playing? Okay, I didn't change it, but every panda has a line they won't cross. This summer, Larynx Punchworthy and Admiral Rue in Twitch emo chat. The movie. It's gonna be like the Angry Birds movie. True Monster. Yeah. Three. That was right. 3 counterspells with mismatching arts and 1 cancel. That's amazing. That is truly the ultimate. So has been celebrities that said something stupid. Yeah. Can we make them has been celebrities that, well, not even has been. Can we make them celebrities that we wish had been canceled, like, but weren't? Because I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm pretty sure there are some people who really should have been canceled by now and haven't been. Googly eyes. Ooh. Wow. Opponent with the A+ mana base here. That's something. I mean, I guess I've set myself up so I can't actually cast this Archmage's Charm this turn. And if I draw a counterspell off my opt, I can't cast that either. So maybe I'm the one who's wrong. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Mr. Maple Syrup? Actually, maybe I am. I mean, I was thinking about how badly the Plains on 1 could go for me in the beginning, but I didn't do anything about it. That was my crime. Got away with it, though. They didn't, like, just jam turn 3 Teferi or something. Holy yikes. All right, I'm going to bottom that one just for efficiency purposes. It's just too much. So I've boarded so that... No, I just have all 4 Unholy Heat still. They play Snapcaster. Okay, well. Looks like he's about to meet a shark. Probably not this turn, though. I think I don't shark this turn. I think I just take the hit and then shark him next turn. Also, I kept all of my Termini and all of my Unholy Heat, so we should be able to deal with this. Recover? I mean, we're down a game, but I mean, it wasn't... Like, it was a horrible, hideous beating, but it was like, we didn't have any counterplay available, right? Like, it wasn't like they skillfully navigated that game. They just played a card we couldn't interact with, and it was like, oh yeah, that's a problem. I can just end of turn this shark. I can take the hit. I don't really care. Okay. This is BS. But again, like, and I'm sure Jendrick would agree that, like, this is not normal. This matchup is not something you have to necessarily adjust yourself for competitive play. So don't worry about it overall. It does expose a weakness that this deck has, but I don't think it's one we actually need to care about. Sure, but I'm not really concerned about that, Roy. At this point, I'm just like, oh, so we're just not winning any of these. What? Really? Okay. I thought they'd get on the beatdown right away, but apparently not. Are they missing lands? I bet they're missing lands. Yeah, Mr. Maple Syrup, it's definitely better than it's ever been now. I don't know if I would say it's good. So if you're expecting to do a lot of winning with Domain Zoo, I would caution you to have conservative hopes on it. But it's the best it's been in a long time. So, you know, that ain't bad. So they have a field. I'm going to go ahead and not play out my Vantress here. Right now, I can play Cryptic and Archmage's Charm, so let's just hold on to it. At the moment, my plan is to draw 2 cards at their end step. The plan is no longer to draw 2 cards at their end step. Nope. All right, here's where we probably lose. They don't have Flusterstorms or anything right now. But I don't think I can let this go. There is a new Draco. Scion of Draco. Jesus. What? All right, we brought in exactly one Force Negation, so it's not impossible that they had one. And I was already at 10, and now I'm at 5. Fantastic. All right, that's fine. I don't really care. They had it all. Yeah, we were not set up for that matchup at all, and they were, and they crushed us. No problem. So, Miracle's not as good in the control mirror. Doesn't surprise me at all. And we don't, like, if you look at our sideboard, we just don't have the setup. I mean, I brought in Teferis, but we didn't draw the 2 of them. Flusterstorm I almost definitely should have had, but Flusterstorm's a little bit awkward because it doesn't touch a lot of their threats anyway, so it is what it is. We're not playing Field for good reason, but we needed them there. We're not playing Castle Ardenvale for potentially good reason, because Vantress is just generally better, but we needed them there, and that's fine. Usually the second one, I think. But I think the first one is correct. Is the second one the spelling of, like, a piece of paper that you put out to, like, promote your band's next show? I feel like that is a real word. Like, or a correct spelling for a pronunciation of the word flyer. They're both fine? Are they? I guess it's not... No, high flyer? That's probably the first one, right? All right. Match the 4th. So, got a easy win on Hammer Time. Tough games against Etron. Brutalized in the control mirror. I mean, that's fine, Nick Kilgard. I think, generally speaking, he's probably right. Like, Entreat is a bad card most of the time. But, I mean, same with Terminus. Unholy Heat's generally quite good, although we haven't run into too many of the matchups where it's great. This is going to be one of them. I think I want to just sorcery speed bang, exile that. Although I'm not going to be able to get these heats leveled up very quickly. So you know what? On further reflection, let's let them play their turn and then Unholy Heat this in response to whatever they play. So yeah, I think we save the ending for a Vial. Well, it's also the hey, how's it going, Franco Bully? So Entreat the Angels, Roy. Entreat the Angels is one of several cards that people will bring up for an archetype like this and say like, well, you need to win faster sometimes, or like you need to have more aggressive win conditions than just a bunch of planeswalkers. And it's like, yeah, sometimes. Okay, this is so we can either Unholy Heat or ending this card. That's fine, Nick Kilgard. I mean, you're allowed to have a different opinion. I've never played with Unholy Heat in this archetype before, so I'm definitely like excited to try it today. It's been really good so far. Thanks for the follow there, Franco Bully. Yeah, you just have to get used to playing fast for the most part. So I can fetch Shock and get rid of the Thalia, which I think I want to do because then I have Archmage's Charm. My Heat is also then one type away, which the Shark Typhoon will solve. So this actually is kind of playing out beautifully. Sucks that I had to double fetch Shock, but sometimes that's the price you pay. See you. Bye, girl. Yeah, exactly. Nice. I don't want to see a Mantis Rider. Okay, that's perfect. Because I was literally about to comment on, like, these Archmage's Charms could be really bad and could really gum up my hand. Kitesail? Kitesail's fine. So they're going to take the heat here, I assume. I get to charm their champion. But it's kind of funny because now that they see the Archmage's Charms, they're like, wait, I need to attack, but I need to attack before I play my cards. Crap. That is not how you want to do that. Yeah, but I don't think they will Freed. It's just, they might do it by instinct. It's not, I wouldn't think that they would make that mistake, but they might. I think I want to save on to the, I think I want to hold on to the Shark Typhoon for now. So if they have Mantis Rider, I'm going to take 4, but I'm going to get a 3/3 because they want to play it before combat. Thanks for the follow there, Voodoo Gremlin. And then Shark Typhoon makes a 2/2 that blocks the Kitesail, so they can't attack with that anymore. And then all right, they didn't have Mantis, or at least they didn't play it early. Maybe they have Reflector Mage. How does Reflector Mage work here? It makes it so that I can't play Champion of the Parish until my next turn, but they could play it immediately, I assume. That's how Reflector Mage is templated. Although, they know I have a Shark Typhoon in my hand, so yeah, they've got Reflector Mage. We're gonna find out. That creature's owner. Okay, so they can't play this turn. Good to know. Yeah. Interesting. That's a very strange choice on templating that card. That is not normal. They can play it now, but that doesn't really help them. That's awesome, Phoenix. Oh, 4/1s are amazing, dude. You're 12-3. You almost top 8'd a GP, friend. What? Don't complain about that. That's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, it is one of those situations where you're like, can I just trade one of these for a 5-0 and the other one for a 3-2? Can we just... But it's just, that's just not how it works, you know? And that's fine. So now I've got double Unholy Heat with Delirium. This seems hot. I mean, I can't play both, but we'll get there. No, he said he's joking, Roy. It's just like 5-0s are like the thing. Like you get a trophy, it's just different. Also, the prize distribution is not even because it's basically awarded on a curve, right? Shardless Agent in humans. They flipped a Hierarch. Yeah, that's why you don't play that. I mean, that's not specifically why you don't play that, but you're 4-0 against Black-Eyed Luris. Are you playing a deck that's... Are you playing a list that's similar to what I just 5-0'd with last night? Because if so, that gives me some hope. Because I was concerned about that matchup a little bit. One with Plains and an Island, yeah. Okay, so which one creature are you attacking with? Shardless? Sure. See ya. Champignon? Sure. Mushroom of the Parish? What are the last cards in their hand, I wonder? They have 2 cards rotting away? Is it more lands? They can't be that flooded. I mean, technically they can, but... Wait, the ones with plains and an island? You're crazy. So you're playing 24 lands with plains and an island? I guess that's fine. So obviously I could play the Shark Typhoon here and just sort of lock it up. 23 lands with the plains and island. Are you not playing a mountain? Are you... I wish that I could feel like that was the right thing to do, Freed, but the fact that it has no immediate board impact and I'm sitting here tapped down, just... I can't do it. The control player in me can't do it. It just feels like suicide. They're attacking with all? Oh my god, it's so good for me. So, make a 3/3. Eat both their dudes. Blow up the Mantis Rider. Gross. I say eat. Eat is the wrong descriptor, but... It's the worst that happens, another Reflector. I agree, Freed, that I probably was never going to die if I played the Shark Typhoon. It just makes me uncomfortable to do it. Like, I just don't want to do it when the alternative probably wins me the game 99.9% of the time. You know? Is it possible it was the better play? Yeah. But I don't really... yeah, I mean, exactly, like you said. Like, I think both would win the game, but then I wouldn't have had that play, right? And that play was insane. So, I don't know if it's like fancy play syndrome or what, but it feels pretty comfortable. Dual decks humans versus sharks. Sharknado! Sharknado! It's great. It is great. All right. I think that's the sideboarding here. Cryptic Command is not great. Like, if I had a really reasonable sideboard card for it, I would, but the most important thing is just board out your counterspells. God, Counterspell's such a bad card. It's got boarded out every time they're on Cavern of Souls. Gross. It's so much worse than Mana Leak. It's so hard to cast. It's just like one of the... yeah. It's just one of those things that always makes me feel like the person who's saying whatever they're saying is like the right kind of like basement dweller, you know, dingus. I mean, I remember it well, Freed, because I was one of those people being like, I'm pretty sure Modern can handle Counterspell, guys. It is a marginal upgrade at best, and will make some of those decks more vulnerable to Blood Moon and or only able to play 2 colors. So, if Astrolabe was still around, it might be a different feeling for me. Just like, I don't know, in terms of like how it might impact the format in my mind. But Without Astrolabe, it's like, pff, whatever. Like, it's fine. It's good. Nobody's saying it's not. Oh, no. Now do they have the Thalia? They got the Thalia again. Okay, so it's the same curve as last game, but considerably more devastating. Out of all the decks, I think pushed out G-Tron the most. I can agree with that. But it's like, again, it's like as usual. It's not just one thing, right? So we just have to dig as fast as possible to a terminus here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's realistically that's the only thing to do now. So I have a Brainstone, I have an Opt, so we have to play it by turn 4, basically. The only issue here is no white. I have the Brainstone to reset. I've got the Flooded Strand in my hand. So the big... Uh-oh. Oh. Whew! They named a card I'm not even playing. No, I understand, Freed. I mean, I get it. I know what you were worried about, but I mean, I could have fetch shocked this turn for that. What are they naming on this one? They didn't see Terminus last game, but they see a Brainstone. Path of Exile. They name another card I'm not playing. It's phenomenal. This is amazing. I love this. Yeah. The problem is now the life total. So, like, I'm going to 11, and then next turn I'm taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm already basically dead. So with this draw, I don't think there was any way we were going to win this game. It's just good that we won game 1 and that we get to take 3 on the play. Because it's basically like the Flooded Strand can't help me anymore. That can. Not much, but it can. Okay. So this turn we go kill Thalia, fetch, and then we can Brainstone, reset a card. Yeah, we're going to fetch the Triome. We can Brainstone, reset a card. And if we also hit an untapped land, on their turn, go Opt Terminus. So we have enough for all of that. You should have played fetch and the crack, shock, and look for Terminus. What? Yeah. Yeah, we could kill Thalia and the Meddling Mage. But then I don't have white mana, Roy. Okay, that's fine. What are they targeting? Oh, they're not targeting anything. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, not yet. Oh, no, it's no problem, Nick. It's no problem. I don't think I agree with you. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to 2. Unless they have another human in their hand. Then we fetch to 1. And then we have to find basically an island. And that's our out. And we'll be at 1. Which, you know. Well, I don't... Okay, so in the thing you're proposing, if I find a Terminus and it isn't the first card I'm drawing, like you're putting it in a place where there's like only one possible out. Where here now I get to dig through 3 more cards and I have to find Island Terminus or Plains Terminus will work. So There's the plains. We didn't find the terminus. So, like, I just don't think I agree. Like, with the way this game went and the way they slammed my life total, like, I think I set myself up for exactly that moment there, and I think I gave myself basically the best possible chance to hit. Enjoy watching Gundam, Phoenix. Like, we were on the draw, and their hand was unbelievable. Like, that was like a perfect curve out of them. So I think I did a pretty okay job managing that. Okay, so this time we have Brainstone and Terminus. So I think I fetch an island, play the Brainstone, then next turn I can play Triome and Opt. Or am I supposed to just go fetch Shock on Scalding Tarn, or on Steam Vents? I guess I could even Opt on turn 1. I mean, I could just play, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Freed, but like now I can just play the Triome on 1. Yeah. But I feel like Opt or Brainstone on 1 is better here. Maybe it's not. No, we just play the Triome on 1. Triome on 1 is fine here. Because if I just start hitting lands, then I'm like comfy. We go turn 2, Brainstone. Yeah, I mean, there really are, right? I don't, and again, I don't think it's wrong. Like, we have 17 minutes on clock to finish this game. By the way, I'm up on clock. Not by much, but I'm up on clock. Yeah, I agree, Roy. That was probably nonsense. But I still don't hate myself for entertaining the idea, you know what I mean? Maybe I was supposed to play the island into the Brainstone here. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up. Just here. Well, let's not screw up more. No, I think I'm still... Well, no. I mean, once I didn't play the island, that was the mistake, and we're here now. We live here now. Keeping up my mana here for the Unholy Heat, but... Nothing, huh? Okay. Perfect. So, opponent actually finally found a weaker hand. I think in game 1 their hand wasn't that good. I don't remember. Nope. Yes. Yes! 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 That is fair, Freed. And that is a reason to potentially sandbag a... So I'm just set up to Terminus here. Do I just let them play stuff out for a bit? Or am I worried about Magus? Well, I have Heats if I need to remove a Magus. Yeah, Unholy Heat is hot gasoline. I think even though I'm set up for Terminus, I do want to slow them down a bit. It also sort of maybe telegraphs to them that, like, I don't have a sweeper. And they might play into it if... Well, we'll see. Be worried about Mage off Vial on 2 in case they figured out what's happening. I don't understand your words. Be worried about Mage. Oh, Meddling Mage. Because we were just talking about Magus. Off Vial on 2 in case they figure out what's happening. Yeah. But I don't know that they have. Although, if we see a Meddling Mage this game, I'm gonna assume the very first thing they name is Unholy Heat. Steal the Vial? I don't have any creatures in my deck. I don't think it's worth it. Wait, maybe it is. Because this is just game... It's just game ending, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Probably GG. Like, even if they drop in the perfect card here, they're probably up a creek. It's triple Stone Rain. Well, double Stone Rain. All right. Take what you want. Now they definitely see Terminus. They just take the Unholy Heat, but they can't attack through the Shark Typhoon, and I have a Brainstone, so... If they don't hit a land this turn, it's basically over. Even if they do hit a land this turn, it's, like, moving towards over very quickly. And they concede. All right. Steal the Vial. Got it. We're going to Vial the Shark in on 6. See, that was the big brain play that I missed. All right, let's go hit a 4-1 with control. Again, I want to be very clear. I don't think that control as a group of decks right now is a particularly great thing you could be playing in the format. But if you know someone like Jendrick or Aspiring Spike who is great at deck building and you just source decks from them, you can play a deck that's pretty okay. Oh, mulling to 5. I love it. All right. Gonna bottom an island and a strand. They mulled to 6 though, so at least some reprieve on cards. Yeah, I mean, and again, like I play an irresponsible amount of Magic, Freed. So like I'm a person who feels comfortable running almost anything in this format, and I feel like I can 2-3 or 3-2 with something that's like even semi-functional. And I like playing control, so I'm like comfortable to play it and lose or whatever ends up happening. Okay, blue food. Blue food of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's come and made you food. So we want to hit cookbooks as Moreno Market no cool the cards. Can't touch that card right now. That's Unholy Heated. Yeah, see a coolest in 5-0. Try it out. They found an Oval Chase, but they don't have a book yet. Blue food of Kentucky, keep on shining. We are against a Saga deck, so game 1 should be rough for us, but we have Wear Tear for 2 and 3, so. All right, probably just going to cycle this ASAP, because I need to find answers to the constructs. Although, we do actually have sweepers, so in theory, I can let them play to the board quite a bit here, and then just try to nuke them out. They missed the land drop? Oh, it's so good. Man, I love the blue food deck. But this is, like, so my experience. That is so my experience with that deck. It's like, it's so good, but then this happens to you. And they mulled to 6, right? Like, they took a mull. They didn't just, like, keep a useless hand and get horribly punished for it. They kept a hand that had stuff. It's only happened to you once. It happens to me a lot. Like, a lot. Like, where you're like, okay, my 7's medium. My 6 is okay. Here's my turn 1 cookbook. And they're like, yeah, Prismatic Ending it. And you're like, oh, I have no way to cast this as Mora. I have a Thought Monitor in my hand that I'm never going to get into play. Like, it's... I love the deck. I do. Very much. But it's just like, this here, this is not a unique experience in my opinion. Yeah. They found us more. Okay, so we're just going to exile that. But they have Oval Chase and 2 cookbooks now, so... I mean, I agree with you, Free, but that's not the point. It's like, it's not just the ending, right? Like, you'll keep hands that are functional based on one thing working out, and then it just doesn't. You get slammed. Like... it's happened to me on a level of consistency where, like, the first weekend out with those decks, I played, without any experience, I played 2 3-2s with the red blue and the blue black, and both of them felt great. They could have been 4-1s. They just weren't, based on, you know, little bits of this draw, that draw, whatever. But the last 2 times I've played the food deck were like 2-3, 2-3, 1-4. I was just getting like I had 2 perfect hands against Hammer Time, and I lost both games. Like Asmora, Cookbook, Oval Chase in the opener, and I lost both those games. So it was just like, it was just really disheartening because I like the deck, I like the synergy, I like the angle, I like the attitude of that whole archetype, and it just has been very unsuccessful for me. My opponent's definitely able to grind out this game. Like, if they have a Thought Monitor in hand right now, I have no counter. I'm going to get horribly punished. If I had Cryptic Command, I might be okay here, but I don't. Brainstorm here is going to be gas. How you doing, Jacob? We've played a really good league to a 3-1 so far, as I'm sure Karn is telling you. But looks like we're going down in game 1 here against Asmorana, Mardika Dice, and the Kultakar and the blue spells. Hey, Mir, how's it going? It's too late. I mean, I'm not like dead or anything, but the engine they've got going here is such a kick in the teeth. What if these blue Asmodex played a Brainstone to get off Saga and smooth your draw? That's way too cute. That's way too late. Like the problem with these decks is when you get like they knock the wheels off your deck on like turn 1, 2, or 3, not when you are able to find your 3rd land on turn 5. Because usually what happens is like you do something early, it gets blown up, and they're also playing like Dragon's Rage Channelers and Murktide Regents and Dothy Voidwalkers. But again, like that I mean, maybe it's just a sample size thing. Right, exactly. Like you want to draw an oval chase every game, but you know, 1, not 2 or 3. So it's just like, it's a high synergy deck that has some serious like opportunity to be clunky. They're rebuying Emery. Okay. Do I want to steal their Asmora right now and then counter the Emery? Or at least attempt to steal the Asmora? No, that's fine. What my plan for the moment is going to be let the Emery resolve and then go draw 2 and try to get to a Terminus. I think Terminus into a Planeswalker is how I bootstrap myself back into this game, because they don't currently have any kind of answer for it. They can make a million foods if they want, but as long as they don't find a Saga, I'm pretty comfortable. As long as they don't find, I don't know, that crap. I was supposed to counter that. I missed it. I just clicked through because I was expecting the 1 blue to be for Emery, and I didn't want to interact with the Emery. Then they don't play the Emery? What? What? Well, let's see what I draw first. All right. Let's try to counter this. Because if I do find a Terminus, I want to make sure they don't have like a Metallic Rebuke for it if I have to hardcast it. Yeah, of course. They hadn't had an opportunity to play yet this game, so not surprising. Right, 43 cards, 4 Terminus. Let's just mize it. Just bang right off the top. How does he do it? You gotta play them high variance cards, Jacob. You gotta do it. Never didn't have, baby. Oh, please do the same. Oh, Jacob, you missed the most amazing thing. You missed the most amazing thing. Against an E-Tron opponent, I mised a Terminus. I think. I didn't set it up. And the trigger went on the stack, but my only land was a fetch land. So I went fetch, and my opponent shoots off their Walking Ballista in response, which was their only creature. So I was like, oh. Fetch the Triome, put it into play tapped, keep the Terminus in my hand. It was one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me in a match of Modern. I was blown away. I was like, what? I've never had something like that happen. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I know. E-Tron is. You get MTGO premium. You gotta talk to the right people. I mean, it's not as dead as people may have led you to believe. Wow. Thanks, deck. I mean, I'm not really mad because that Terminus play was ridiculous. Oh, that's cool. That would be fun, Freed. E-Tron is never as dead as people think it is. It always finds a way back. So the real question is, am I now officially... Oh, well, we're dead here. This is just getting them infinite value this turn. But, by the way, when I've played that deck, I have never had an Urza do this. I've never drawn an Urza, been able to resolve the Urza where I have like 10 plus foods in play. I literally has never happened to me. If ever I was in their position, the opponent would have had a Cryptic Command. Let's go counter draw against your Urza, and my hand would have been like 3 Oval Chase. Not that I really want to dwell on the bad beats. I just really love the freaking deck. Yeah, like I get it, Freed. Like if that had been happening to me consistent, jeez, I'm done. There's no out here. I just put 2 fetches back on top of my deck. We're good. I'll go game 3. They also drew Saga, so they played Saga into Urza this turn, which both were like just completely brutal kicks. That's fine. I will take it. Sometimes you get got. Oh, yeah, and Jacob, if you haven't played with Unholy Heat yet, this is a game changer. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how the sequencing goes. I mean, you can like it, DK. I'm just saying my experience has been like, I can play the blue-black food deck like as well as I possibly feel like I can and still get eaten alive. Like, it just doesn't work sometimes. And that sometimes seems to be mostly for me. Like, I don't just want to like infinitely dwell on bad beat stories, but like, I want to love the deck very much, and it's the first time in a long time where I've been like, this deck just doesn't love me back. Like, it's just like, a dispute is good. One dispute, yeah. I mean, I guess it is. It's kind of like a Veil of Summer here. Not a Veil of Summer. Dispel? No, whatever. The food doesn't sit well with me. Exactly. You don't like the Sharks at all? I mean, I feel like Shark Typhoon is a good way to beat them, though. Like, hard cast Shark Typhoon eventually. I have Roy. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I don't know. I think I like the Shark Typhoons. Like, I understand that, like, Asmora can just blow up all your sharks as you make them, but you can make more sharks sometimes than Asmora can actually fight. I think the card that I liked the least was Counterspell, because we're bringing in Wear Tear, which actually, like, interacts with their permanents. And, like, they play a lot of cheap stuff. Archmage's Charm is admittedly not great here. Neither is Counterspell, really. This hand is great. Hand is real good. It doesn't have an Unholy Heat or a Prismatic Ending, but it's pretty good otherwise. Food versus shark. Shark food, brouhaha. Somehow food eats the shark. It's not the food, it's the chef. We're fighting against a whole kitchen staff. I'm just generally not a fan of soup, Alucartes. I like chili, that's the closest thing. But I don't normally like stew. Sure, there are good stews out there, but I've never eaten stew in my life and been like, yes, I would like to repeat this experience. Soup is something like when it happens, I'm okay with it. Like if it's like a set meal. Can you interest me with chowder? Not really. Like again, if like I went to dinner and I didn't have a choice in the matter, they're just like, here's your soup, and I would be fine. I think gumbo is damn good. I think I've had good gumbo before when I was in New Orleans. And I'm white and from Canada, so I will call it New Orleans. Gumbo's a bit, yeah. I mean, it's like stew. You don't have stew as an appetizer. Jambalaya. Turn 1, Asmoran and Arctic Dice in a Kulikar. Opponent. Stew goes on top of rice. I don't think you're stewing right. I mean, obviously you're not stewing wrong. I just like, I don't feel like that's how most... I can't find Nolans on the map. Anyone could miss it all tucked away down there. Huh. That was a really good draw. Get out of here. Is curry stew or soup? I feel like it's a heavily sauced stir fry. That's how I think of curry. That's how I make it, like, essentially. It's like a very saucy stir fry. Oh, I love curry, and I love it on rice. Yeah, neither it's curry, exactly. But when I'm, like, cooking it, it's like the same process as making a stir fry, and then you just add a lot of sauce. It's like a sauce with chunky ingredients. Get behind that. So, how many times in a row can I say Asmora? Probably a lot. I mean, how many times do you want me to say it in a row? And, like, what do you define as a row? Like, I don't... Okay. So if they have a third land... I feel like I'm supposed to tear this now. Stone Rain them. It should set them back enough to make up for the fact that I didn't wear. Like, I didn't get the official 2-for-1. Yeah. Yeah, you just take the Stone Rain. I think so. It's getting too cute, and, like, they just don't have a land. What? Why did they not play that last turn? Oh, they do have a land. Why did they not play that last turn? Like, they had it. I know they had it. They fetched it out with the Asmora that they had earlier. Okay, let's find out if they're playing Mystical Dispute. See, curry is a stew you put on rice. I mean, that's fine, but would you eat the curry without the rice? In most cases, the curries that I make, I would not eat them without rice. Usually they're too savory or too salty or two something, you need the starch as a buffer. You would not enjoy eating that product on its own. Well, yeah, I mean, if you would, that's fine. So let's go Unholy Heat and Teferi on top, so we'll protect it from potential discard they could have brought in postboard. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Goose Nasty, and thank you for the follow. It's not always like this. Sometimes there is music and dancing, but when I'm recording for YouTube, there's usually not. So if you come in here and there's no music, it means I'm recording for YouTube, and you can catch this league and so many like it on my YouTube channel. And if there's music, you can request songs usually by typing exclamation point SR in the chat, followed by the name of the song you'd like to hear. Crucible, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense against control. I get it. Am I supposed to play Teferi and tuck it? I feel like I am, because I don't think they have a way to answer Teferi. Well, they have red. Yeah, I mean, recycling Urza's Saga is definitely like a way that they could beat me. But like, okay, let's brainstorm first. See if I find Wear Tear, because that solves my conundrum. Did not. When do I play Enigmatic Incarnation? I can play that again soon enough. All right, yeah, let's play Teferi and tuck their Crucible, and if Disaster strikes my Teferi, it means it's not hitting my Jace. So that's fine. Zing! Did Enigmatic get anything out of MH2? Yes, it did. Sithis Harvest's Hand. Dress Down was actually from Strixhaven, right? Or was it from MH2? I don't remember. Might be from MH2. Dress Down, potentially, if it's actually from that set. I don't remember. There's more. Oh, Sterling Grove. The Groove! I threw off my groove. And it's getting something from the new set. There's a 3-mana creature that's a 2 and a white for a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you Enlightened Tutor. It's like, the card is crazy. Like, I don't understand how that's a card. Just pulled some fetches from MH2. I have started getting stuff in the mail, and I'm super excited about. I've got 2 Old Border Misty Rainforests and 1 Verdant Catacombs here. And then in this deck, I've got an Arid Mesa and a Scalding Tarn, and I've got more stuff on the way. So I'm really excited about the Old Border fetches. So let's go draw, then Brainstorm, then Unholy Heat. Can I grab Urza's Saga with it? With what? Yeah, you can. It's an enchantment. I mean, why would you not be able to? Bounce Emrakul? Emmy? No, I'm just gonna kill her. I don't think I need to get cute. Just get her dead. So let's just go, like, put a Terminus on top. Just in case. Play this tapped. Play this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I don't play the Brainstorm this turn, I can play double Archmage's Charm if I need to. So let's do that. Yeah, you just float the Terminus, right. That makes sense. I mean, Hero of Dominaria is going to take a long time to ultimate here. No counterbalance. No, Jendrick builds good decks. If Spike couldn't make Luris, Brainstone, counterbalance work, then I don't think anyone will. There's the concession. Smart opponent. They know when they're done. So I don't want, like, Time Raveler on the draw. Time Raveler is, like, okay here. But no. I think this setup is ideal. That Stone Rain was probably, like, the most brutal for them. And, like, did you see that game? That was the kind of game that was normal for me playing that deck. Turn 1, Asmora, it dies. Okay. Turn 2, Saga, tear it. It's like, ugh. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep this hand and try to opt into lands. And we lose, we lose. We'll see how explosive their 7 is. Babble. It's a trap. I mean, I've got a draw step and an opt and another draw step. I'm pretty comfortable. This looks like a reasonably slow start from them. Ho 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 ho! Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. We got lots of answers for that. What this says to me is they have an Emery in their hand. No, that's okay, Terminus. I'm good. You'd get the Triome before opting. I would rather have the option of fetching twice. Or of opting twice. Freed. Because if I miss on end step, I'm definitely going Hallowed Fountain for opt, and then I can opt again on my turn. Always name Scalding Tarn. You know, that's a funny thing, DK Crimson. Once upon a time, I brought that up as a thought experiment. Yeah, so I brought that up as a thought experiment in my LGS, and all of the better players, and they're like Pro Tour competitors who I was talking to at the time. But I was like, if you were on the play in Modern, in the dark, and you had to play a Pithing Needle, what would you name? And my argument was Scalding Tarn, because I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I think Scalding Tarn is definitely correct. And they were like, why are you playing Pithing Needle on 1? That's just wrong. And what I hadn't realized was at the time I was playing a bunch of like Lantern Control and Blue-Black Thopter Sword and decks where your artifact count on turn 2 was going to be relevant and unloading your hand for your Ensnaring Bridge was going to be relevant. So like, I had good reasons for playing the Pithing Needle, but I didn't give them the context, and they were like, they were just kind of shitty about it. Or is this Saga the correct call? Pithing Needle Saga's not that good. It's fine. I mean, it stops them from making constructs, which is good, but nope. Yes. Need to find an answer for Emery. I mean, I don't love it as an answer for Emery, but like, I think we end Emery, yeah. The only other option is like play Brainstone and set up for a Terminus. But I think that's worse. What are they playing with Emery? They have a Bauble, so that's going to draw them a card. It's either I ending the Emery or I play Brainstone, ending on like Needle. Spellbomb. What about the Spellbomb? Well, they have a Mistress Bauble. They won't use the Spellbomb, I don't think. I mean, they could, but I think they'll just bring back the... You think they have Metallic Rebuke? I mean, I need 2 freed, but like I gotta punch through it at some point if they do. Like, it's very easy for them to keep it up from here on out. The only reason they wouldn't next turn is if they have a land and an Urza. And so the question is, like, if I set up for Terminus this turn, if I cast it next turn, they rebuke that. And then I've spent multiple cards setting up something that gets countered. And I may not be able to Prismatic Ending at that point. So, whereas if I ending now, I get through it, and then they start playing out more stuff, hopefully, and then we get to Terminus them. We're also playing a lot of removal, so like if the Prismatic Ending misses this turn, there's lots of different ways we could find that work. EOT are Charm if they don't do anything. Yeah, no, I know what you did. Sorry, I just read it as it was because I couldn't figure out what it was until I said it. I guess so. I mean, I guess they'll probably counter an Archmage's Charm. Maybe not. I don't know, how dangerous is this Emery right now? It's like, it's not, I don't have to bend over backwards to try to kill it. And then if they do have land into Urza, they might be incentivized to just jam it. No, they would never do that. I wouldn't do that if I were them. Well, I know it is, Mike. That's why I felt pressured to remove the Emery, because I know what kills me, and killing me in spirit is my opponent getting to do the thing that is called drawing a card. Every time my opponent draws a card, it's like a needle through my heart. Drawing 2 cards a turn is a lot. Well, it's twice as many as drawing 1 card a turn, but at the moment, if my Archmage's Charm resolves, I'm keeping up with them, right? Although, Oval Chase. Oh, they don't have a cookbook yet. Now, they might let this resolve and then I can find some cheap removal. If they counter this, I'm definitely going to try to exile the Emery. Seal the bubble. Thanks, bye. You're the man. They bubbled my draw. You monster. So now that I have the next land, I'm not as worried. Oh. Someone put one on the miracle counter. It's a miracle. What actor? And coming in from downtown. Yeah, not surprising. So we go shock. Yeah. Yeah, they can't Metallic Rebuke here. They can't Mystic Dispute, and they can't Veil. Not that they have green mana open. Yeah, it worked out. But that was the exact situation like I was kind of worried about, right? Is like, if I went all in on setting that up, no, Force Spike's not legal. No. It should be, in my opinion. Wow. See, this is what happens to me with that deck too, because we know they have an Oval Chase in their hand, right? And they must have other similar cards. I bet they have at least one Urza. You think it was wrong for them not to counter the charm? I think I agree with you, Freed. But it was very possible that I had more cheap removal in my hand, because I play a lot in this deck. And so, all right. So I think I'm going opt into Wear Tear? Or am I just making a 3/3 Shark? I think I'll opt into Wear. Wear into opt? Wear into opt is good. No, I think Wear into opt I like. Because this gives me space to play the Jace. Perhaps. Oh, now I can just play Shark Typhoon. Pretty sure I'm just jamming Shark Typhoon here. I mean, I guess if they have another counter. Yeah, I feel like making them have it is good because, like, well, it's not just that it's the fun play. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty correct. Like, I feel like their hand is just a bunch of clunk in their deck. Like, if they could have Asmoras in their hand that they're stuck not being able to cast because they haven't had discard. They could have Urza's. We know they have an Oval Chase. There's tons of things they could have in their hand there that, yeah. So I'm guessing we see Saga into Urza. Oval Chase. That was not something I was expecting. Yeah, I think we win. In this matchup, yeah. I have been very successful playing those decks and beating people with Oval Chase. They have Bone Shards. I forgot that they actually do have answers for my Planeswalkers. But that's not answering my Shark Typhoon, so they can make a 1/1. Control wins. The world is a darker place, I guess. Yeah, now they got the Oval Chase going. They're gonna get a big construct, but like, that's fine. Look how close their hand was, though, to like actually being very powerful. And I hadn't put any creatures into play. You know what? Playing the because people don't know when to concede, Freed. Playing the shark out earlier actually probably would have been a mistake because they could have bone shards it. Which would have given them the discard so that they would then be able to play the Ismora that they now did. So I actually think cycling for the shark sooner, I didn't realize it at the time, but would have been a mistake because they had a bone shards and it was how they were going to discard a card to get Ismora into play. Anyway, Freed. And then also counter spells. Discard spells do feel bad, but counter spells feel worse because you actually had to invest the mana and then you lose it. Especially efficient counter spells. Could it tapped out to make a giant shark there? What do you mean? Like here? Like right now? You'd steal the book? I don't really care about the book much. Like logic not. It's a lot of free food value. I mean, I don't mind the food. Like this construct doesn't scare me at all. I have infinite chump blockers. You mean pay more for... Oh my god, I could have. I didn't even think of that. Prismatic Ending plus Shark Typhoon is a combo. Is that Splinter Twin? I actually thought of that card, Mike. I don't think it will, but it certainly could. Yeah, I like that a lot, Freed. No, I'm pretty sure it's literally Splinter Twin. I'm pretty sure those two cards together constitute literally Splinter Twin. And I will not hear anything the contrary. Saga Zerda deck. Huh, you could do that. Then Mora. I mean, we hadn't planned on it, Roy. But he usually hangs out and chat while I play them. A second Asmora? Or I guess this would be the third Asmora? Okay, this could be a problem. Oh. Nope. Alright, that's fine. They come in waves. They move in packs. Yeah, that would be great, Jig. I agree it's a very difficult deck to mull with, so I don't actually know if they I don't know if they kept a bad hand. I don't think they kept a bad hand. I'm not sure. I mean, they had the early Emery, and that was a not necessarily an easy situation for me, although we have like infinite cheap removal. Not that they actually know that from playing against us for one game, but it's I don't know. They have 7 cards in hand. That's so crazy. But what we know, we know what we need to know, which is really the only thing that matters is I have to solve an Esmora. Huh. I don't actually need this right now. Although I might need to keep it. I don't know. Probably not. Yikes. That's a worse draw. You know what they say, Brian? Unlucky in love, lucky with magic. Yeah. Or I guess I should have done that one the other way around. See, that's the card I need to answer here. And then if they have a counterspell, it's not too bad for me. I have a lot of shark going on. Yeah. Yeah. And the more of my sharks they kill, the smaller their construct gets. I don't know why my board is like flashing out and back. It's actually very district. Yikes! Thought Monitor is the new season Pyromancer. Confirm or deny. It's definitely time to reboot Moto. So this construct can't kill me. It theoretically could get big enough to kill me, but holy shit. That's unreal. Wow. I don't I just put one on the bottom, Mike. I think you are aware of that. Another cookbook, sure. So they have 6 food. So they can attack for 15, but if they want to get my blockers out of the way, they need to sack food to do it. So the math doesn't work out. No, this has never the flickering has never happened before like this. This is new. That is not a sign of like just like, oh, Moto's doing bad Moto things, so you know. No, this is not normal. So we're going to Vantress on the upkeep because if I draw Cryptic Command, I just win the game. Yeah, so they shrink the construct by 2 for each shark they kill. They can only kill 1 more. Yeah, that's fine. So they can swing through for 9, but 9's not lethal. They have played their land for turn, so they're done on that. And they can't attack with the Thought Monitor because I could tuck one of the other Thought Monitors. So we're going to fetch EOT. Or do I want the Terminus on the bottom? What I'm looking to draw here is removal. Yeah, I don't think I want to fetch here. But I think I want to Vantress during my upkeep because Cryptic Command or multiple removal spells are what I want to hit. Oh, they killed my Teferi. I was not expecting that. Shit. I was expecting to have more card draws here. I think it's still correct to Vantress. Because I have 4 mana, so if I hit Cryptic, I'm good. So Prismatic Ending the Esmora for 4. Does that keep me alive? It does. They have 7 cards in hand. Do I think I can beat that? And they have 4 cookbooks. 3 cookbooks and an oval chase. If I remove their Asmora, it buys me more time. But they have one in their graveyard. They have everything well, they have an Asmora in their graveyard, which is the only thing they need to have. No, I don't think I die. Because they can't remove all of my sharks with one Asmora. They can't, that's just not, they can't do that. They can't kill, they have 3 cookbooks, so they can only make 3 food per turn, but if they want to pick up the Asmora, they have to sack a cookbook. So the most food they can make next turn is 3, which is not lethal. Also, I can force them down to 1 Thought Monitor this turn by attacking with the 4/4 Shark and the 3/3 Shark. Yeah. So I think this is the way to do it. So we'll attack first. Yeah. This is just the ball's in their court now. But I mean, we're in a very, very reasonable position. You have to block the other shark. You must. Yeah. They should double block the 4/4, I think. I guess the disaster for me is that they just have another Asmora just like bang in their hand. Oh, this is a much better block. Is it? No, this is exactly the same, right? They end up with 1 Thought Monitor. What was I expecting to end up with? 0. Shit. Okay. No. Still okay. All right, I got 0 cards in hand. It's all you, opponent. They've got 8 cards to work with. If they have Shadow Spirit's really bad for me. Their board is already terrifying, so hand of 8 cards is. If you knew about this earlier, the 1/1 Shark would have been another lethal threat. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, obviously, I just, if I had known about Prismatic Ending, interacting with Shark Typhoon, which again is definitely something I would understand, but that's something that I would not have intuited myself. I think I would have missed that for a long, long time before someone explained it. Because I know you can beat chalices of any size, right? I did it this league. I was like, we just do the dead and beat the chalice, but the synergy with Shark Typhoon just didn't enter my mind. Am I even supposed to block here? I mean, I'm sure I am, but feels weird. This attack is very strange to me. Yeah, I mean, once you teach me, I'll remember. Because, like, how often do you resolve a Shark Typhoon? But you're playing Prismatic Endings all the time. It's like me with discard spells. I just do the cookbook check now. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. And they can blow up one of my sharks, and they can chump block the other shark. Yeah. So we just need to draw another heater. Any removal, not any removal, but almost any removal gets me out of this. So. Jace counts. Terminus would not be good. Is anything in their graveyard besides monitors? I don't know or care. Oval Chase. There was an Emery. No, Emery got exiled. Nope. Yeah, that was a good one. It was intense. I don't approve of them walking me through that. That was a great game. Yeah, really cool from both sides. It was a good 4-1. It really was. I've seen a good number of blue decks play Hercule's Recall. It really handles Urza's Saga quite well, and the food decks. Yeah, and it's a good card right now. You just let their Saga run through its paces, like, and the tempo blowout is unreal. You let their Asmoras and their foods go for a while. Yeah, I mean, well, there was a couple of matches where we had good. The Etron opponent trashed us in game 1 with Emrakul, the Promised End. So yeah, TSPJendrick's Miracles list here. Blue-white primarily with a little tiny splash into red. I don't want to call it Jeskai. But this is a very... No, it's not. There's no Pernicious Deed in Modern. People would be playing it. This is a very, very good control deck for the world right now. And it's very well set up all the way through. The only loss in that league was to a control deck that was much better set up for the mirror. So if if control becomes more of a force in the metagame, I would definitely consider changing up some of the slots in this deck. But as you saw from that league, we were well set up for humans, Etron. I forget what we played against in round 1. They didn't do much. But we beat humans, Etron, and the blue food deck. So a lot of matchups that were pretty aggressive. And we went 2-3 or 2-1 against a lot of them. So good players, good matches, good magic. Unholy Heat was a rock star. Prismatic Ending was very good, and Prismatic Ending with Shark Typhoon is a great combination if you actually need to close out games like that one that I played there. So yeah, highly endorse this. Brainstone gives you the right amount of redundancy with Jace the Mind Sculptor to set up terminuses, but sometimes you just get lucky and top deck terminus when you're playing 4 of them. I think 4 in Modern is the right number to play because we don't have Brainstorm. So yeah, check it out. And if you need to for your current metagame or your personal playstyle, you can change bits and pieces of this deck, I'm sure. But it's well set up, doesn't fold to Blood Moon as it's sort of set up, which is important. And well, important-ish, because there are a lot of decks playing Blood Moon to try to hate on Urza's Saga. We didn't run into any of them in this league, but you do want to be ready for that, where you can be, especially if you're playing 3 colors. Anyway, that is Jeskai Miracles, blue-white with a splash of red Miracles. So if you are in the future watching this on YouTube, you can hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any of my other videos that you're interested in. I will see you there.